You know that feeling, right? You're in the kitchen just trying to chop an onion for dinner, and suddenly it feels like a full on personal attack. Well, today we're getting to the bottom of it. We're going to uncover the science behind the tears and reveal the secrets of this, honestly, surprisingly feisty vegetable. I mean, we've all been there. You're standing at the counter, minding your own business, getting ready to make a meal, and bam, tears are rolling down your face. It's such a common experience, but what is actually going on? So, is the onion really out to get us, or is something else at play? And you knew this was coming. Let's peel back the layers and find out why this humble vegetable fights back so hard. Okay, so here's the big takeaway right up front. It's not personal. What you're experiencing is actually a super sophisticated chemical defense mechanism. It's the onion's way of telling predators, and yeah, that includes you, hey, back off, don't eat me. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this chemical warfare. What is this weapon the onion is using against our poor eyes? So check this out. The second your knife breaks the onion skin, it's like a trigger is pulled. An enzyme with a super long name, lacrimatory factor synthase, so let's just call it LFS, is released. And this LFS kicks off a lightning-fast, four-step chemical chain reaction. It basically takes the onion's normal compounds and turns them into something unstable, which then immediately becomes the gas that attacks your eyes. It all happens in a split second. It's wild. And here we can see the whole chemical drama play out. You see those molecules just hanging out inside the onion cells, totally harmless. But then you cut it, and all of a sudden those enzymes we talked about, including our main bad guy, LFS, they spring into action. They start this transformation that ends with that tear-inducing gas. It's a really cool, if a little painful, bit of natural chemistry. And here it is, the culprit itself, syn-propanethyl S-oxide.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. This is the little gas molecule that floats up from the cutting board and makes a beeline for your eyes. As soon as it hits, it tells your tear ducts, your lacrimal glands, to open the floodgates. Your body's just trying to wash this stuff out as fast as it can.
What's really interesting is how short-lived this attack actually is. You can see here that the crying chemical is super potent for the first 10 minutes or so, but after about a half an hour, it's basically gone. That classic onion smell that lingers? Totally different chemical. So the part that makes you cry is just a quick, sharp burst of defense. Okay, so we know what the chemical is, but now let's talk about how it gets to you. Because it's not just gently wafting through the air. Oh no. It's being launched at you with some serious force. You've probably noticed this, right? The second you make that first cut, the sting hits your eyes almost instantly. Well, that's no accident. The onion has an incredibly effective delivery system. So get this, researchers at Cornell actually used high-speed cameras to figure this out. It turns out an onion's layers act like a little pressurized container. The moment you slice it, you breach that container, and all that internal pressure forces out this high-speed mist of droplets, spraying that chemical weapon right into the air and right towards your face. Okay, to really get a sense of how fast this is, let's get some perspective. A chef's knife, when they're chopping fast, is moving at about 1 meter per second. Kind of fast, I guess. All right, now think about a human cough. Those droplets can fly out at around 20 meters per second. Okay, that's a pretty big leap up in speed. But the onion's mist? It blasts out at up to 40 meters per second. That is insane. It's twice as fast as a cough and 40 times faster than the knife that caused it. This isn't just a release of gas, it's a full-on aerosolized attack. When you see it laid out like this on a chart, the difference is just wild. The knife chop is barely even on there. That mist coming off the onion is a little marvel of biological engineering, designed to get its chemical defenses to the target, your eyes, as quickly and efficiently as possible. And this high-speed spray has another, more serious side to it. It's not just launching tear gas. It can also launch any bacteria living on the onion's surface. This actually played a role in an E. coli outbreak back in 2024. It's just a really good reminder to always wash your produce well. Okay, so we know how the onion attacks. The question is, how do we fight back? Let's get into some tearless chopping hacks. All right, let's run through the common advice and see what works. Chilling the onion in the fridge first? Yeah, that totally works. The cold slows down that enzyme reaction. Ventilation, like a fan, also a great idea. It just blows the gas away from your face. Goggles? They create a physical barrier, which helps, but some fumes can still sneak in through your nose. And the one all the chefs swear by? A really, really sharp knife. It slices through the cells cleanly instead of crushing them, which means less of that enzyme gets released in the first place.
Now, for those of you who wear contacts, it's kind of a double-edged sword. On one hand, the contact lens can act like a little shield for your cornea. Awesome. But on the other hand, it can also trap the irritant right against your eye, which can be even worse. And if you wear glasses, sorry, they don't really do much to stop an airborne gas. You're still going to feel it.
But what if we could avoid the battle altogether? What if we could disarm the onion before we even start? Well, meet the Sunyon. It's a tearless onion, and it's pretty incredible. It's the result of decades of traditional crossbreeding. We're not talking GMOs here, that started way back in the 80s. Breeders just kept selecting and growing onions that had less of that tear-inducing compound until finally they created this, the kinder, gentler onion. But there's always a but, isn't there? While they're absolutely 100% tearless, some critics, like the Washington Post, have pointed out that they might be a little bland. It turns out the same chemicals that make you cry are also linked to that sharp, pungent flavor we expect from an onion. And that leaves us with a really interesting final thought. The onion's defense mechanism and its flavor are deeply connected. So in our quest to create the perfect tear-free cooking experience, what are we accidentally engineering away? Are we trading flavor for comfort? It's definitely something to chew on next time you're in the kitchen.